Alright, I got a new video about Destiny 2. This here pulse rifle called the Veles-X. So let's talk about Crucible with this pulse rifle naturally, because Crucible is my focus all the time. And this is a 4-burst aggressive pulse. 4 shots in a burst, which is the same archetype as Blast Furnace used to be, which was one of my all-time top Destiny guns, like my all-time top favorites in Destiny are probably like Mida Multi-Tool. This is my vault, by the way, in dim. Mida Multi-Tool, Ceros Regime, excuse me on them. Mida Multi-Tool, Ceros Regime, Blast Furnace was definitely up there. I love that gun. Now, back then it was really good. I would say it was pretty S tier. Kind of wasn't the fastest to kill most of the time, but it had really good range. It was a tank, and I had all kinds of feeding frenzy and kill clip rolls from the Black Armory, I think it was called. I don't even remember what the meta was back then, but it was pretty. I think, was that D1? I can't even remember if that was Destiny 1 or 2. Had to be Destiny 2. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, so it's that 4-burster, which there've not been too many of lately. I think there's one in a raid or something. There's not too many that aren't Sunset either. There's Sacred Providence, which I don't have that good of a roll on, if I remember correctly. So there's a couple. Everyone, if you look in Crucible, a lot of people are playing with this new 4-burster called Disparity. Me too. I think you get it from like the first campaign mission. It drops at the end, and it's decent. As far as the archetype, this 4-burst archetype, I'm not in love with it in this meta. I think that it's good, but not great. It's what I would call serviceable. I don't think, if I'm being honest, even though I want to like these new guns, I don't think it's quite up there with like Messenger, the pure deadliness of the 340s. Good rolled Stars and Shadow, which is basically just Messenger in the energy slot, but you can get surplus on it. Not sure if you can get surplus on Messenger. You can't even get Messenger anymore, I don't think. So yeah, so I see a ton of people playing with Disparity, but honestly, I don't think a single person has killed me with a Veles-X yet, and tons of people killed me with the Disparity. So let's talk about how I discovered this gun. I was reading Crucible Guidebook, and somebody was like, "Oh, Veles-X, it's gonna have I think he said golden tricorn and repulsor brace. So it's gonna be really blah blah blah. It's gonna be really powerful or something." It's on the Reddit Crucible Guidebook page, I think. I read it. So I was like, "What is this Veles-X gun? I haven't seen this in the game yet." And he was talking about how it's a 450 pulse. I love pulses. They're my favorite. I mean, them or scouts, but pulses have been more meta for years now, so it's kind of more pulses. So I set about finding out about this gun because it's kind of weird how you get it. And I wondered why I had not seen it at all. No one had killed me with it or anything. And here's why. I googled it and tried to find out info, and it was really hard to find any info. The websites would talk about it, and I eventually figured out, okay, it is a pulse. It is, I looked it up on Light GG. It's kind of hard to Google even. I don't think it showed up at first. It might be just kind of proliferating in Google or something. It didn't show up on Light GG at first, I think. Anyways, so. But I eventually found out what the deal is. I found these websites and they'd be like, "Oh, it's the Crucible Gambit and Strikes ritual weapon or something." And I was like, "What the hell? We have a ritual weapon is like, what the heck is that submachine gun? I can't. Oh, it's like Revoker or that submachine gun everybody supposedly hated back in the day that was way overrated." That could get some kind of buff and just mow people down. Of course, the name is completely slipping my mind right now, but But yeah, it's like Revoker or Mountaintop was. Dang, I'm yawning like crazy. I wasn't yawning like crazy until I made this video. Like Mountaintop back in the day, we had this long involved quest, and you really, I believe those were called ritual weapons if I'm remembering correctly. So it's like, I'm like, so they put in a new ritual quest that's going to be time gated or something? You know, I was trying to figure out, why haven't I seen this gun? Where does it drop? And, you know, I was wondering, maybe it just drops from strikes or something weird. And, well, what I found out is that what it is, and it's actually not hard, and I should have noticed it right away, but it drops. It's in the vendor tracks, the reward tracks. It's in Crucible, it's in basically Shax, Zavala, and Drifter. It's the level 16 reward for all of them, so it doesn't matter which one. It's the level 16 reward in Strikes. It's the level, like I said, I didn't even look at the rewards track. I just probably assumed it was the same as always, or it just didn't catch my eye to notice anything new. But it's the level 16 reward, and for me, of course, since I grind Crucible all the time, I'm not gonna, I pretty much don't ever get max Gambit or Strike ranks in a season, but I usually like multiple reset Crucible ranks. So obviously the one I was going to go for was Crucible. And at the time I found out it's on level 16, so you have to be level 16 on Crucible to get it, or Strikes or Gambit. But of course I'm going for Crucible. Now, so it's the reward right before the Ascendant Shard, the max rank reward. And so I looked up because the Crucible ranks are kind of esoteric and goofy, so I had to refresh my memory on those, or refresh how they work, and I googled that, and basically level 16 is 9,000 points in Crucible rank. And 10,000 points resets your rank. So you have to get almost to the top, but not quite to the top. So like I said, 9,000 points. And at the time I figured this out, I'd already been playing the new season for a couple days. This was maybe yesterday, Wednesday. And right now it's Thursday, the 8th. So I'd been playing Crucible for a couple days already. Pretty heavy, 2-3 days. And I already had 4,600 rank points. And I quickly discovered exactly how many, you know, I don't know, I immediately went to like, okay, how many games is this gonna take exactly? And so, and, you know, is it feasible for me to get it like today, tomorrow, you know? I think at that time I looked it up and everything and discovered it was kind of like, it was in the evening, so I was like, I wonder if I grind for like 4 hours right now, if I can get it right now. You know, I really wanted to be one of like the first ones to have it. Even though I'm sure some people, they just mainline Crucible, probably got it like day one. But there's no double Crucible rank or anything going on, so you just got to do it the old-fashioned way. So, but I already had like 4,600 points, and you needed like 9,000. So I played a few matches to figure out what you get rank-wise, and I don't know if this. I know that I think it has a streak mechanic now where you play like 5 straight Crucible matches and it counts you as a 5 streak or something. I think that's a thing, but I'm not even sure how any of that works, and I'm not sure like what breaks the streak. Like if you just go do another activity, if it breaks the streak, if you stop for 2 hours, if it breaks, and go do something else instead of play Destiny. I don't even know how the streaks are working. But I can tell you the points. I was getting 138 for a loss at first when I first started this, and at least it was consistent. Because in the past I've noticed Destiny is so screwed up and Bungie is so incompetent that you get like different amounts for every win and loss, basically. Like there was no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's so ridiculous and convoluted. But I noticed I was consistently at least getting 138 for every Crucible loss in quick play. And 210, I think it was, I know it was, for every win. So, yeah. 138 per loss, 210 for a win. I did some figuring. I think I needed, let's see, I said I had 4,600, so I needed 4,400. That doesn't sound right. It is right, though. But, I mean, I figured that I would need, like, well, I think I played a few before I figured up the Ah, by the time I figured it out, I figured if I would need like 17, I think I needed at the time. I think I played some, and so I got to like 5,600 maybe, because that's the only thing. And I need like 3,400 more points at that time. So at 3,400 more points, assuming every match was a win, and I got to about 200 per win, I would need about 34. What was it? 24. No, 17 matches. At 200 would get me my 3,400 points. I mean, it's a little more than 200, but here's the thing. You don't win all the time. In fact, I win like less than half of my matches, especially solo queuing and all that, and not being very good. I have like a 40% lifetime win ratio pretty consistently. But then again, I don't try most of the time. Like, I mean, it's the reason I don't win very much is because I'm bad, but I'll try to make it seem like it's some other reason. But yeah, really, like, I go into most control matches, and I'm like streamers. Like, you play so much Crucible, after a while, you don't care really about control. You're just trying to slay. Just trying to get kills. A lot of times, the only time I'll play is, like, for some reason, I'm, like, if I notice it's close and towards the end, you know, then I'll go stand on the zone or something. If it just comes up that I'm close to the zone, and, you know, that kind of thing. Like sometimes I'll start carrying right at the end if I notice it's real close or something. But for the most part, I don't pay any attention to the score or anything really too much. Well, I do. I mean, I notice if we're getting our ass kicked or whatever sometimes. The only time it bugs me is there's times when I go on huge losing streaks. Then I hate it. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, so I don't play the objective mostly, but I don't win very much. And now it's control and clash, which is nice in quick play. So you don't always have to play the objective. Half your games you don't have to worry about it. But anyway, so I played to win, but I knew I wasn't going to win 17. So I figured out the worst case scenario. If you got 138 points, I think I would need, like, worst case, if I lost every match, I would have needed like 24 matches. So you figure 17 best case, 24 worst case. Split the difference and go in a little, you know, go pessimistic. You know, you always should do that when figuring stuff. Be conservative. And if you do better, great. But don't count on it. So I figured probably it'll be like 21, 22 matches, something like that. And then what? You got to figure about 10 minutes a match. It really takes that long, depending especially on what game type. But you also have to throw in that when you figure out match time, you can't just put a stopwatch on the match. You have to include your queue times too, you know. So it does take a good 10, 12 minutes a match. But you can rule of thumb like 10 minutes a match. So it was like maybe 210 minutes. So it'd be something like, for let's say it took 21 matches. It would be basically roughly, or 240 minutes would be like 4 hours. So basically you could figure out pretty quick that it would take like 3 to 4 hours of play to get there. So I didn't end up hitting it that first night or trying too hard. I mean, well, I did try, but it was kind of late. I got to like 7,300, I think, or something like that. Yeah, I think it was 7,300 after the first evening that I discovered this, which would have been last night. So I knew I was pretty close. I was 1,700 points away. So I got up today and just finished it off. It didn't take too long, and got my pulse rifle. It only took like 6 or 8 matches today. I think I had it down to that many. For some reason, later on, it started giving me 126 points per loss and 208 per win. Again, why? I have no freaking clue. Destiny is so stupid that way. I don't know if it's in the higher ranks you get a little less. You know, why just a very little less? I don't know. Because like I said, when I started, it was 138 per loss, 210 per win. And then I noticed, like, lately, it's been 128 per loss, or... What was the original? I think it was 138 per loss, 210 per win. Yeah, and now it was 126 per loss, 208 per win. Like, it didn't make any sense, but I don't know if that was because I was in, you know, as the ranks go higher, that you start getting a little less, or if it was maybe that streak mechanic I was talking about. I wasn't paying attention to that too much. I mean, I know I had like 5 yellow squares on my thing the whole time I was playing last night. Today I didn't really look at it. Whatever the case, but I'm sure I played more than 5 matches in a row, I think. I don't know, it might have had to do with the streak mechanic. I don't know what it was, but it gave me a little less, but close enough. So, yeah, I got to level 16, 9,000 points, and I got the Veles-X. Now, the thing I love about this guy is the perks are incredible. I've been looking for a good pulse with golden tricorn as it is, because I started realizing that I always just ignored it, but I found out recently it's a really good perk, because what it does is it gives you 15% bonus damage, but it gives you it for 7 seconds, and you don't have to reload. Compare that to kill clip, which is only for 5 seconds, and you have to reload. And golden tricorn is like rampage or something. You just keep slaying and get it. Now, one problem is I'm so attuned to like reloading after every kill that it doesn't matter. I usually reload anyway, so the fact you don't have to reload isn't really helping me. But 7 seconds is the other big thing. That's a long time. So, yeah, it's nice. Now, I will say that like the 15% damage buff is like not enough to like change your life. So, I haven't actually had a chance. I've only played like 3 matches with it. And I haven't actually really noticed golden tricorn rolling. I believe I've noticed it does 31 to the head with golden tricorn on. Remember, it's shooting 4 round bursts though. So that should be pretty easily 2 bursting people, right? Yeah, that should be nice. Like I said, I just haven't had a chance where I've gotten some kills and lined up some other people too much yet. I've done pretty good with it. I even just took it into a comp match and I felt it was definitely serviceable. Like I said, it's in those comp matches, half the time I feel like your primary is just to kind of harass people. You're really killing with your SMG or sidearm most of the time, you know, and your pulse or scout. I mean, pulse usually it's just almost to harass people half the time, feels like. Especially on some of these maps. I just played Anomaly, was the comp map. I just happened to play with it. You know, Anomaly, your pulse rifle is just to pepper people with shots now and then. You're not leaning too much. But yeah, it seems good. Like I said, I think it's about like disparity. But the perks, the version you get from everybody, but the version you get is like a what do you call it, a curated role type of thing. But it's good because look at these perks, man. Like golden tricorn, I've been wanting a good pulse with golden tricorn. I don't have any. I was hunting for a yesteryear with golden tricorn, which I don't consider a good pulse anyway, because I hate Suros pulses with their close range sights are weird and imprecise. I've talked about that before, I think, but it's just a personal thing. So I don't think Suros pulses are good anyway, but I was hunting for a yesteryear with golden tricorn. Once I find out how good the perk is, but here, now I have a non-Suros golden tricorn pulse, so I'm really excited. Like I said, I haven't used it enough to say yet. I played about 3 matches, but I haven't gotten it rolling. 2 quick play, 1 comp, I think it was. Did well in all of them, but like I didn't notice like the gun was just frying in all of them. Like I said, I think it's a lot like Disparity. It's a solid pulse. It's probably not quite, if I'm being honest, I mean, I want to love it, but it's probably not quite to like a messenger level or whatever. People say no time. I don't like no time. Even Syncopation 53, I was really doing well with the head seeker rule of that recently, although it's probably just bad lobbies. So I'm not even sure. It might not even be. I would assume it's up there with Syncopation 53, because Syncopation 53 is another what I would call solid pulse. Not quite like this top tier, but solid. So I think that's what these 4-banger aggressives are trending to be. But we'll see. I need more playtime in this to really talk about that. Because like I said, I didn't really get golden tricorn rolling yet. But look at the perks this curated roll comes with that you get straight from Shaxx on hitting level 16. Comes with golden tricorn, a weapon kill, 15% increased damage for 7 seconds. I don't even care about the grenade part of it. But you can trade it off with kill clip. I mean, that's freaking incredible. You have both of the S tier perks. I believe kill clip has been changed to a 25% buff now instead of 33. So I was reading somebody in Crucible guidebook saying the nerf really hurts to it, but we'll see. But it's still more than golden tricorn, but you get it for less time and you got to reload. So it's kind of a 50-50 thing. I have a feeling I might like kill clip better because, like I said, I noticed every kill I reload anyway, just reflexively, and the reload speed's not too bad on this thing. So it's like I always reload anyway. What's the point of golden tricorn? It's just giving me 2 more seconds, I guess. If I can remember not to reload it when I'm laning, maybe that'll help. But then the second column, it has tunnel vision, which is a great perk to pair with kill clip because it gives you a bunch of buffs on reloading. repulsor brace. This is the one. I've been seeing a lot of enemies with void debuffs for some reason. I don't know what people are doing to cause that. I don't even know how any of that stuff works, really, for the most part. Maybe because people are using Gear Falcons, and it's now doing it causes people to be void debuffed now. That's probably what it is, because I'm seeing so many Invis Hunters. But yeah, I don't use this really. Yeah, that seems like something that'll never come up to me. So tunnel vision. At first, I was just gonna leave this because I was like, well, tunnel vision goes with kill clip. But I just put it on this because I was reloading anyway. So I want to get that bonus accuracy. And it comes with flared magwell and chamber compensator. I wish it didn't have chamber compensator because I would rather. I like handling. That's the one weakness of this gun. I noticed it right away when I was playing with disparity. But it's weird, I don't notice it subjectively as much on this gun for some reason, even though the handling is poor on it. It's a 28 handling. That's the thing about these 4-bangers. They're just, Bungie puts their archetypes in certain things to balance them, I guess, and they usually have poor handling. Now, if you had like a fluted barrel and stuff like that, you could mitigate some of that. So that's, like I said, just is what it is. But I haven't noticed that the handling is bad on this. I noticed it a lot with disparity right away. I was like, man, this thing is slow. But on this, I haven't noticed it too bad. Your mileage may vary, so that's good. For whatever reason, on this particular pulse, I have not noticed that the handling is too bad. Of course, it's not ideal, but and the reload, like I said, I noticed was pretty fast. I've been reloading after every kill. It's got a 53 reload speed. That's not bad. It's got a handling masterwork, which is nice again because I love my handling. I put radar tuner on it of all things because I was thinking of going back to you don't need a counterbalance mod because it's already got a 74 recoil direction with chambered. And yeah, I noticed lately I was kind of thinking of even going back to Knucklehead Radar. I've been running Wormhusk Ground, but I was thinking of going back to Knucklehead Radar because people are sneaking up on me when I'm laning, my old man laning. But I thought I'd just try Radar Tuner and see if it feels any better instead of Knucklehead Radar. See how that goes. Kind of intrigues me. I've never really used it. Another cool thing I wanted to mention is apparently it has all these selectable perks. You can do Hockey Breach armaments, which is mainly more the main effect of it would be increased damage against barricades. So you can shoot down barricades faster. Vanguard's Vindication, kills restore 7 HP. I might put that on. I kind of like that one. So you can one quiet moment, increase reload speed when out of combat. Now for me, I don't really need increased reload speed when out of combat, I figure. So that one I'm not. I don't know what they define as out of combat though. How loose those parameters are. So I figure that's kind of useless to me. Or gun and run, sprint speed. I don't need that. I usually run 10 mobility and everything anyway. Yeah, I haven't heard people talk about that as a real good one. So yeah, I've been running breach armaments. I might run this, but it's cool that you can choose freaking 4 different, I've never seen that before, origin traits. So this is an incredible roll. And like I said in my play, I'll just say it feels really solid, you know, like expected. It has an 18 zoom. That's another big thing I need to mention. Which disparity has a 19 zoom, which zoom on pulses at those levels, I don't know if it's good or bad. It's kind of... Messenger has an 18 zoom for what it's worth. I mean, I guess I would prefer a 19 zoom, but also 18 lower zoom kind of gives you more flexibility and makes it feel a little better in my opinion. So I don't know, it's neither here nor there. But I've been liking it in actual play so far. I have noticed some damage drop off, but it has a very good range stats. Another thing these 4 bursters have. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. It seems solid. It's a solid pulse. I think it's definitely better than Disparity, if only because these perks are killer. Now Disparity you can craft later, and I forget what all it has, but as of right now, I can't craft Disparity, and I have only gotten 2 rolls on it, even though I've played a good amount of that stupid season activity, because I did 5 of them for that challenge to get one, the whatever the seasonal thingy to get the upgrade the grid. But now I'm honestly not even sure I'll craft this. I'm not that worried about crafting disparity now, because this thing has all the perks you'd want anyway. We'll see. I need to figure out, I wish I knew it for this video, but I need to figure out where do you get it now that it starts, because I read that like once you get it from the vendor it starts dropping, but I'm not sure where it drops, if it's like a world drop or a crucible drop or what. So we'll see on that one. I should have looked that up before this video. It's supposed to start dropping for you as loot after you get your first one, but I'm not sure where. You may even be able to focus one of the hockey engrams at the helm. It may be in there now. I'll have to go look. But yeah, it's a good pulse, fun, and I really liked it. I'm like the only person I've seen with it so far. So it's really fun to like be killing people and be thinking like, they're probably thinking like, dang, what's this pulse? How do I get this pulse? Where? I've never seen this thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna run around with it a lot tonight and quick play and try to impress people. You can see how I think I played 3 matches. I've got 21 opponents defeated. I've been loving my side note, but I love this guy too. I don't know why I'm loving it. Nobody runs Pizzicato 22 at all, but I'm loving this thing right now. It feels a lot more stable to me than even like Manticore. Manticore's an exotic with all these good stats, but man, this thing just feels a lot better. And the key on this, I got a roll. I was focusing these Service Engrams, I think, just for the hell of it. I came up with this roll, which is Rangefinder, Fragile Focus, Hammer 4s. It's like a range beast. High cal rounds, which gives range bonus, and a range masterwork. It's pretty much almost like a max range for this. And the Fragile Focus gives you even more range. I don't see anybody talking about this perk, but it gives you range until you take damage. So like, let's say you sneak up on somebody or whatever, it's giving you extra range. And I checked it out. And with Fragile Focus and Rangefinder, and the range stat is 68, this thing is hitting at 24.5 meters, which is basically tied for the longest SMG I have. I have of course, the range monster Shayura's. This also hits at 24.5 meters. The difference is this hits at 24.5 all the time. This only when Fragile Focus is on. But even without Fragile Focus, this thing hits at 22.5 damage drop off, which is like one of my longest range SMGs I have. So it's 22.5, and then you get up to 24.5 with Fragile Focus active. So either way, it's great. I mean, I believe it's outranging my multi-mock and all those with Rangefinder. It's only a 14 zoom, but remember, Rangefinder's kicking it to like a 15.4 zoom. And yeah, it's freaking great. And the range is just only slightly. This one is not actual max range because I don't have an adept range mod. And also I could have had full bore down here, which I don't. But you give up something with full bore. I don't even think I would like full bore. Full bore kills your... You can get extended, which would give you a +10, but this is already a +7. Like if I had full bore, yeah, it would give me more max range. But I don't even know if I'd want it, because I really hate hurting my other stats. Like, it hurts your handling, I think, which this gun already can't spare. So I'm not really worried about that. The only things that could make this better, it already has accurized. It already has a range masterwork. The only things that could make it more rangier would be like extended barrel or full bore, and then the range, the adept range masterwork, which I honestly, like I said, another thing is I run backup mag on all my SMGs because they always have an ammo problem. They don't have much ammo. So I honestly would hate to take off my backup mag. I probably would for a range, adept range, but like I have adept handling that I'd like to put on this because the handling is low. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, this is like my top range SMG. It's not the best shares for range, but it's close. And it gets 24.5. And this is getting 24.5 until you take damage, and then it's getting 22.5. I think it's like probably my second most rangy SMG without Fragile Focus. I mean, it's getting 22.5. So yeah, what is my multi-mock here? It's got a rangefinder. This probably one. Well, no, I think I picked this one for it. Definitely Frenzy. I don't care about. Which one? This one. I think yeah. This is like my good roll. It has everything but rangefinder. Yeah, whatever the case, I have like a bunch of multi-mocks. Where's that other multi-mock? Wait, I thought it was multi-mock. That wasn't multi-mock? Let me see. Multi-mock. Let's see. This one has 62, no rangefinder. What is the zoom on it? Zoom is 15, so no rangefinder. No rangefinder. I guess you can. I'm not sure if you can get rangefinder on a multi-mock. Yeah, so then this is going to be beating the multi-mock easily. And that was, I think, my rangiest kinetic. So, well, no, maybe one of these. I've been enjoying this lately. I find the 900 SMGs, this is me being old again, I think, but I find them hard to control. But like this Pizzicato, it's an adaptive 900. I don't know if that makes a difference. Whatever the case, I'm finding it way easier to control than Manticore. I'm liking it way better than Manticore, just straight up. I have not loved Manticore. It's just spraying around too much and it's hard to control for me. These 600s are way easier to control. It's 15 zoom. I don't know if I have a range. Let me see. Let me just sort by rangefinder to start with. See what SMGs have rangefinder on. This one has rangefinder. Perpetual. Yeah, I don't have hard. Okay, I have pretty much nothing but these, which. Yeah, yeah, so this is a really nice roll. Then I didn't even realize how nice this is. What's the stability? For whatever reason, I'm finding this way easier to control. It's a 900, but it's an adaptive. I don't know if that plays into it instead of lightweight. The stability stats, the stability stat on this is higher, but this, I don't know. I'm not liking Manticore. I don't know why. But this feels much better to me so far, despite the stats. But I'm loving this roll, anyways. So I'm enjoying both sides of this equation. But anyways, yeah, I want to talk about Veles-X, like where you get it. And like I said in my little mini review, I need to play with it a lot more to get a deeper feel for it. But right now, I think it's solid. Not maybe not that upper tier, but very solid. And yeah, that's how you get it, and that's the story of it.